Today, we'll take a sample scholarship essay, break it down, dissect it, and point out all the mistakes. So, we are all going to give our comments and we will do this together. So, if along the line you notice something we didn't talk about, let us know in the comment section. So, you give your own comments and your suggestion as well. We are all trying to perfect the skill of writing essays which communicate exactly how we feel and what we are thinking at any point in time. Mind you, the scholarship essay is why do I deserve this scholarship or why do you deserve this scholarship? So we are going to judge everything from the presentation to the end. We are going to talk about how it was presented, the title of the essay, how the person chose to end the essay. And so you just stay tuned and just let us know in the comment section what is it you also have to contribute to this course. Mind you, this video is going to be in two parts. The very first part, which will be about the mistakes, and then the second part about the corrected thing, or let's say the final work. This will help you know the exact framework and also get your work done perfectly. So let's begin already. So to begin, we are going to do the first reading. Now, for the first reading, we are going to do no judgments, right? We're not going to have any judgments about it. We're just going to read it as though we are the panelist. Then afterwards, we are going to judge this based on clarity. So by clarity, are the ideas expressed properly? Then we're also going to look at mechanical accuracy. That is the use of grammar. Is it okay? The use of the punctuations. Is it okay? The use of certain words. Is it okay? Then we are going to judge this also based on emotional core. That if there's a panelist who will definitely be driving. Most people we've been stating a lot of times that most people are driven by the emotions you actually communicate through your essays. So if this thing has an emotional core, if this essay has an emotional core, we will notify, we will talk about that as well. Okay, so we're just going to judge on clarity, mechanical accuracy, emotional core. And then we're also going to check whether it answers the question, why I deserve this scholarship in totality. So let's just begin with the first review. So, title Scholarship Letter for Financial Need. I am writing to express my sincere interest in applying for scholarship offered by your organization. I am currently pursuing a program. Okay, I'm currently pursuing a into brackets program and institution, and I am in need of financial assistance to continue my education. However, due to financial challenges, I'm finding it difficult to sum of my education expenses. I am therefore humbly appealing for your kind financial support to enable me to continue my studies without interruption. So, your assistance will go a long way to ease my burden and help me focus on my academic work. I strongly believe that this scholarship is going to help me in obtaining my academic and professional aim. Due to my family's financial situation, it has become increasingly challenging to cover the cost of tuition, books, and living expenses. My household income is limited as my mother works as a trader and my father also a farmer. And we are facing financial constraints that make it difficult to afford these expenses. So I believe after receiving this scholarship would allow me to focus more on my studies and ease my financial burden. I am confident that with your support, I can excel in my academic pursuit and contribute positively to my community. Thank you for considering my application. I am grateful for the opportunity to apply for this scholarship and I appreciate your time and consideration. Yours sincerely into bracket name. Okay, so this essay, we are done reading it. We are now going to give our comments based on the criteria I gave at first. So, with our very first category, which is clarity, if I were to give marks out of 5, I would say I'll give this a 2 out of 5. Yes, the person is stating over and over and over again that they need financial support to enable them do certain things, but it's still not clear why they need it. It lacks depth. So for clarity, just 2 out of 5. For mechanical accuracy, you can see the person is trying their best to express themselves. So if I'm to give it out of 5, I'll give a 2 out of 5 once again. It's not so good. There's a lot to do when it comes to mechanical accuracy. The use of certain words, the use of certain type of words, the punctuation as well. We'll talk about all that in a bit. Now, the emotional core of this essay. Honestly, I would give it a 1 out of 5 because I don't feel emotionally connected to this essay. I don't feel this essay has a particular depth that would force someone to do something for whoever has written it. So, yes, for emotional core, I'll give it 1 out of 5. Now, for the essays answer. So now looking at whether it's an answer to the question, that is why I deserve this scholarship or why you deserve this scholarship, I'll give it a 3 out of 5. Yes, we see some elements in the essay that suggest the person is actually asking for the scholarship and they are trying their best to state why they think they deserve the scholarship. However, because it lacks clarity, the mechanical accuracy is not there, the emotional core is not so bonding, the answer, the scholarship as an answer, the scholarship essay as an answer to the question is quite vague. It's not there. So now let's do a step by step review, a line by line review, and try to point out the mistakes in there. However, I would encourage you to also give your marks in the scholarship in the comment section, based off of clarity, mechanical accuracy, emotional core, and answer to question. Let's see what you also think about the scores. But let's now do a line by line review where we criticize constructively the topic, the presentation, the use of certain words, and all that of this particular essay. I mean, the basic characteristics of this essay. Let's begin. So for this letter, we actually don't see any address. Okay, we don't see any address. If it is an essay, then it's pardonable because for essays, there is no need to actually put the address there. All that's required is the heading or the title of the essay, and then you continue. But if it is a letter, if the question said write a letter about why you deserve the scholarship, then we're expecting to see the addresses. Okay, so usually the writer's address would be here, and then the recipient's address would be here, followed by a salutation like dear madam or sir before the topic. Okay, so yeah, with that said and done, the very first thing we've noticed is the address. The address is permissible if and only if it's a letter the person was tasked to write. Okay, so now moving forward, let's talk about the um title. Okay, let's talk about this title. So the question was write a letter about why you deserve the scholarship, and this person wrote the essay as scholarship letter for financial need. Okay, the person says scholarship letter for financial need. Meanwhile, the question says write a letter about why you deserve the scholarship. So the heading or the topic or the title of the letter should be why I deserve the scholarship. Okay, so it should rather be why I deserve the scholarship, not scholarship letter for financial need. Do you get it? So whenever you are writing an essay, a letter, whatever, the topic or the heading should actually respond to the question. So if the question was write a letter describing your financial need or showing your neediness or something, then you can write scholarship letter for financial need. Okay, but since the essay says write a letter about why you deserve the scholarship, then it should be why I deserve the scholarship. That should be the title, why I deserve the scholarship. So, our very first thing is we're going to strike through this and suggest that you put why I deserve the scholarship there instead. Okay, good. So let's move on. Now, the person goes ahead to say, I am writing to express my sincere interest in applying for scholarship offered by your organization. Now, over here, it should be for the scholarship, okay, for the scholarship offered by your organization. So that's some grammatical changes that should be in this very first sentence. So we are taking from here to here. Yeah, so I am writing to express my sincere interest in applying for the scholarship offered by your organization. Even with this statement, there is something we have to address here. See, you are writing to a known organization which is offering a known scholarship. Okay, so assuming the name of the scholarship is Bright Akono Foundation Scholarship, which is offered by the Bright Akono Foundation. So when you are writing, instead of saying for the scholarship offered by your organization, you can personalize it and say, I am writing to express my sincere interest in applying for the Bright Akono Foundation Scholarship. You don't have to mention the name of the organization. Nonetheless, even this particular starter, right, is not a strong beginning because it is, how do I put it? It's repetitive. Most people use this particular starting. So if you'd remember, in the breakdown we did about why I deserve the scholarship, we said you could start with a story, you could start with a self introduction. Okay, so you could even start like born in the northern region of Ghana, born in Dambai in the northern region of Ghana. I am, something interesting, okay, something interesting that will hook people. So a hook that will keep people reading your scholarship. So what are we gonna do? This part actually we are going to permit this side. Okay, so green, we are going to permit this side. But we would love for there to be some creativity. So I am what offering your to organization. We are going to permit it. Okay, so we are keeping the applying for. So we are putting the scholarship here. Okay. So over here we are putting in applying for the. Okay, so we are putting the name of the scholarship there, and we are going to take out offered by your organization. Okay, so I'm writing to express my sincere interest in applying for the a name of the scholarship. So the Bright Foundation Scholarship, whatever scholarship that is. Now, the next sentence is I am currently pursuing a. Now, this into brackets program and institution thing shows me this person used AI. Okay, it tells this person used AI. However, we are aware that the person might not necessarily send this raw essay to the panelists. They are sure going to make some changes. However, assuming we are going to assume that this is the final thing, this alone can get you disqualified. Keeping something in brackets and all that can get you disqualified. And it's even amazing because the brackets are almost like the brackets in the AIs use, so this is wonderful, but hey, we have to change that. So yes, you mentioned the name of your course and the institution, your program and the institution. Yes, it's a key point. Okay, it's a key point. Even without the AI telling us to do it, it must be done in your introduction. Okay, so we haven't even seen the name of this person. We haven't seen the introduction of this person. So I believe that your name, your age is optional, but your name, your age, as well as your program and your institution should be there. These are particulars about you, which are very necessary and important. And they kind of serve a purpose in the other paragraphs. Okay, so assuming you are an 18-year-old girl, and in the other paragraphs you are talking about how ambitious you are in doing certain things in the community, then I believe that it shows that you're a very ambitious person, because usually people your age wouldn't be doing what you're doing. So that's the purpose for adding your age. Now the program you are doing, as well as your motivation for doing the program. You see, if you include the program and the institution you're doing it in, now talking about your ambitions and talking about what you intend to do can actually give the panelists a link with the program you are doing. So that's very, very important. You put it there. And I am in need for financial assistance to continue my education. I believe that this statement is too early. Okay, I am in need of financial assistance to continue my education. It's too early to introduce this. We should be hearing about your at this point, we should be hearing more about yourself, okay, more about your beliefs, especially in the very first paragraph. We should be hearing about that. Remember when we discussed why you deserve this scholarship, or why I deserve this scholarship? That particular video, if you haven't watched it, kindly go and watch it so you understand what we're about to talk about. We spoke about adding depth to your essays, right? And by depth, we mean there should be something about you. We should know about your passion even before you begin talking about the financial need that you deserve. Okay, so it's very important. Yeah, now moving on, this person says, however, due to financial challenges, I am finding it difficult to sum of my education. I think this person wanted to say to cover. So there's something is wrong here. Difficult to cover some of my educational expenses. Good. So I think now the use of however, however is a linking word. Okay. Now there are other linking words. We will discuss that at the latter part. I don't know if I should bring it here right now. Okay, let's talk about it. However is a linking word that shows contrast. Okay, it shows contrast in most um sentences, but people use it wrongly, and it doesn't even sit well here. You are saying that you are in need of financial assistance to continue your education. However, due to financial challenges, you are finding it difficult to cover some of your educational expenses. It doesn't this point is not solid. Okay, so what are the financial challenges? You didn't make mention of them. This is where you can be talking about figures, you can be talking about your parents work, you can be talking about all those things. I think this person did it, but the repetitive mentioning of financial challenges, financial need, financial this, financial that, doesn't add depth to the story or to the letter. It doesn't add depth. So this part, I would say it shouldn't be there. Now you come again and say you're finding it hard to cover some of your educational expenses. Sure. And then I am therefore humbly appealing for your kind financial support to enable me to continue my studies without interruption. Another financial again, making it repetitive. So it makes the people know that all you are interested in is financial. All you are interested in is financial. Yes, we know you are interested in the financial aspect of the scholarship, but why do you need it? Why should we give you this scholarship and not someone else? And that is what should be in your essay when you are writing about why you need the scholarship. Not to say that in stating your points, you should say, I should be given this scholarship because I deserve it more than other people. No. What actually makes you deserve it more than other people? Maybe it's the burden on your parents. Maybe your dad just lost his job and he's not able to cater for you. On a daily basis, he earns like 1 cedi a day. He's on a loan and people have taken his cars. The bank has taken his car because he used his car that he even uses for running a business for collateral. And you see, all these things are debt. All these things touch whoever is reading your essay. It touches their emotions, so that should be there. Now, this person comes again to say, your assistance will go a long way to ease my burden. Oh, goodness. Another mention of this to focus on my academic work. Good. But then I'm coming. Let me show you something here. This whole part, your assistance will go a long way to ease my burden and help me focus on my academic work. Focus on your academic work. Which academic work are you talking about? There are so many types of academic work. So, which academic work are you talking about? So, this part can actually be expanded into a lot of things. You can say, I am passionate about medicine. I know that medicine forms part of da 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 da. Society needs da 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 da. And as such, I believe that education is the key of making me da 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 da. This scholarship will help me before you come and talk about focus on your academic work. So we need to know the focus on your academic work. What academic work are you talking about? And is it only about academic work? Mind you, these organizations are organizations that pride themselves in community work, that pride themselves in helping the community, helping people, helping society. So we need some information on that. Once again, the long way message here. Let me take another marker color. So let's use green for this. Okay, so the long way. Okay, this long way thing here, it is used almost all the time. Okay, it's used almost all the time. It will go a long way to, you have to change it. You have to change it, okay? And then I strongly believe that this scholarship is going to help me in obtaining my academic and professional aim. Once again, so question mark. What is the academic? My question mark. What is the academic or professional aim? What is it? We don't know. So tell us. And you should have told us maybe, okay, so let's look at something here. Maybe the first paragraph could be about yourself. And by yourself, you talk about your family a little. You talk about you as a person. So your name, your age, your academics. Then you give us a hint about things you believe in, your principles. Then you move on. Then this next paragraph could have even been about your family. Then you talk about your family. Then the third paragraph will be about your what? The third paragraph could be about your ambitions and how your financial situation hinders you from attaining your ambition. So you see, so if you are mentioning it in a different paragraph, it's easy to trace what you've said about your professional aim. Or better still, you can talk about your professional aim. And then in the conclusion, you say, I strongly believe that this scholarship is going to help me. Or you don't say it's going to help me. This scholarship will help me in obtaining my academic and professional aim. Do you understand? Now, due to my family's financial situation, it has become increasingly challenging to cover the cost of tuition, books, and living expenses. Meanwhile, you have also stated previously that you are finding it difficult to cover some of your expenses. Then you come here to talk about your another expenses again. No, we need depth. And then again, my question to you is, what is that family's financial situation? What is the family's financial situation? It must be stated. I've told you that don't feel shy when it comes to talking about these things because you need something. And the people must know what you have. And there's this saying going around that a closed mouth is a closed destiny. However, that's interpreted. But if you're interpreting it like how everyone else interprets it, when you have a problem and you don't talk about it, you go with it and it will bother you for the rest of your life. So you have to open your mouth and talk about it. But this time you have to use your pen to talk about it and talk about it well. So what is your family's financial situation? So you have to explain the financial challenges you are facing. Then you come again. It has become increasingly challenging. So all these things, you could even cite a scenario about what happened one time, how someone disgraced you because your dad was owing them. Maybe you went to take things at a shop and someone met you, the person disgraced you because you see all these things. And nowadays, mental health is being propagated. So you could say how these things affect your mental health and how they could be detrimental to achieving your ambitions. Mind you, these ambitions may have been mentioned earlier for easy traceability. Okay, good. So now my household income is limited. What is the meaning of limited? Okay, when we say limited, limited is subjective. What is limited to me might not be limited to you. So the use of these words and not stating actual figures could mean that whoever wrote this may be someone who actually has enough money, okay, and doesn't really know how to paint the picture of financial need. Do you understand? And that is using these words to cover up. That's what it means. If not, then you should express in figures. Give the person a pictorial understanding of how uh, your household income is limited. Now, the reason this person is saying their household income is limited is because the person stated here, their mother works as a trader. So let's highlight that. Okay, this person says, my mother works as a trader and my father a farmer. Do you know that there are some traders who even make more than people who sit in offices? And you know that there are some farmers who actually make more than doctors. So, guy, you have to state it well. So, in this case, you can say, my mother works as a trader who sells fish at the market. Her daily earning is about 20 Ghana cedis on bad days, and on good days is 200 cedis. In a month, she can get, be honest, in a month, she can get 1,000 cedis. However, she uses it to cover her debts. And most of the money barely takes care of us, and part of the money barely takes care of us. You can say we are 6 children, 2 of which are in the university, 3 are still in junior high school. My mom earns 1,000 Ghana cedis a month. My dad earns 50 Ghana cedis a month. Maybe he's a driver, he has to pay off his debt. So you talk about all these things so we know the financial constraints your parents are facing. You can't just say because your dad is a trader, because your dad is a farmer, they don't have enough money. No, it's not true. Okay. This person goes ahead to say, and we are facing financial constraints that make it difficult to afford these expenses. You didn't state any expenses. The last time we checked, you didn't state any expenses. The only expenses you spoke about was your living expenses. But living expenses, do you mean you're not able to buy food at all? Do you mean you're not able to pay electricity bill, that some days are there you sleep in the dark, making it difficult for you to study? State all these things. Okay, state all these things. These are all the challenges that could hinder you. So let me give you a tip here. G.W.O has this book. Okay, it's not a book per se, but it's a worksheet, right? That can help you write this essay very wonderfully. Now, the worksheet is in 2 parts. The very first part is how you write all your ambitions. you list all your ambitions. The second part, you list all your challenges. And then the third part is how your challenges hinder you from achieving your ambitions. Do you understand? Then afterwards, you use other words to define these terms and turn it into a wonderful essay that depicts your financial need and why you deserve the scholarship. Do you get it? Good. So I'll share the link to request this particular worksheet, okay, in the description box. So you can look at it and take a good look at it and move on. Yeah. So now another thing worth mentioning is I believe after receiving this scholarship, it's something has to be here. I believe this scholarship take this away. I believe after let's make the corrections again. I believe after receiving, okay, so take this. I believe this scholarship would allow me to focus more on my studies and ease my financial burden. Oh, goodness. What is the financial burden again? What is that financial burden? Question mark. Now, this person comes ahead to say, I am confident that with your support, I can excel in my academic pursuits and contribute positively to to my community. So all this part, it can still be highlighted properly. Okay, like you can talk, we haven't heard anything so far about this person's academic pursuit. We've not heard anything so far about this person's the contribution this person wants to make in the community. Yes, still the person is saying that we should give them the scholarship. They'll surprise us. No, we want to know what you want to do before we invest in you and how it aligns with our organization. Do you understand? Then the person comes, thank you for considering my application. Let me be honest with you. This part, it would never shake the panelist. If you write this part perfectly, okay, the concluding part perfectly, and the beginning of your essay is not conk, that you can't do anything to the panelist. I mean, the panelist would not agree with you in any way. How do I say? They will not invest in you in any way. They won't. So let's wrap up. We are done with reviewing this. Okay. So let's wrap up. So we've done a lot. Okay. We've done a lot of corrections so far. And all these corrections are very beneficial, right? These corrections will help shape the scholarship essay. The scholarship essay lacks content, it lacks description, it lacks information. So it's difficult to award someone a scholarship based off of writing a scholarship essay like this. So you have to be detailed. If you are finding challenges on understanding why we are making these corrections and on what basis we are making the correction, I'll suggest you watch our video, Why I Deserve This Scholarship, to understand what we mean by depth, what we mean by emotional core, what we mean by clarity. So that would define your scholarship essay as an award-winning scholarship essay. Do you understand? So you make sure that you make all those changes. I will entreat you all to watch out for part 2, where we actually bring the detailed scholarship essay, the well-written scholarship essay that can attract a scholarship at any point in time. So in that case, if you submit this well-written essay and you don't get the scholarship, then you know that it was just destiny. Yes, that's why I always say that you have to make sure that you do your best at any point in time. And even if it doesn't work, you can then say that it's destiny. You did everything you could have done with the knowledge you had at that given point and it didn't work. Do you understand? So this essay, yeah. So this is very important. Okay. I'm going to put a link, right? I'm going to pin a link in the comment section where you can request for our worksheet. This worksheet will give you an idea of how to make sure that you organize your thoughts before writing the essay, Why I Deserve the Scholarship. Okay? Great. So I hope you actually had a swell time doing this. Let me know in the comment section some of the mistakes we did not correct or some of the corrections you do not agree with. And we will see to it that we have a wonderful interaction in the comment section. Guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.